So anyway, with a lot of the chat that was going on, I just kind of stumbled into this, and it was Howard's original. I don't know if this is when it came up a lot about podcasting, how podcasts are stupid, they suck, you can't make any money, and so I found the Ari Shaffir versus Howard. I didn't even know about this, that Ari Shaffir had apparently heard enough about how shitty podcasts are. So he was on Joe Rogan, and he sort of went after Howard. And so I just got a few clips, but clip one, Howard actually, see, Howard is so wrong in this conversation, but he's still pretty funny. He's acting like Ari is trying to get into stand-up comedy by doing a podcast instead of clubs.
Podcasts are fine. You want to make a podcast, sit in your room and make a podcast. You want to make money and become a broadcaster and actually get a following. You've got to put yourself to the test. If you want to be a comedian, you could sit in your room and do your comedy into a microphone, or you could go to a club.
Yeah, you could be the greatest comedian ever, only nobody would know it.
Right. You got to go to a club, and I'm telling you, if you want to become a radio broadcaster and make a living at this and get a following, you've got to go on terrestrial radio, not even satellite. You got to go on terrestrial radio and wait for the ratings book to come out.
There's no way Ari Shaffir was not going to comedy clubs. I mean, Howard is he's acting like he doesn't know who Ari, maybe he didn't.
Right.
I would think, didn't people know who Ari Shaffir was in 2017 when this happened?
Yeah, but I don't remember who he was.
I knew who he was, and I don't follow stand-up comedy that carefully.
Remember, yeah.
I'm not a nut about it, but I know who he is, and he had a big, I think his podcast was rolling along.
I've known him for a long time because he had the big beef with Carlos Mencia because Carlos had stolen one of his jokes. So that's where I first heard of him, and that was a long time ago.
And that was the beginning of Carlos Mencia getting dogged all the time.
It really was. After that.
That was a long time ago.
It was a long time.
That was ages ago.
Yeah.
So anyway, cut to the only way to do this is to get into a radio market, according to Howard.
You got to go to a market like Hartford, Connecticut, and beg someone to put you on the air, because don't think that's easy either. You got to go through 1 million auditions. But Riley has a podcast, and everybody's and his mother has a podcast, and none of them know how to broadcast. I don't mean to single out Riley. I actually like his show, but I'm just saying. The only way you will... that's like a stand-up comedian sitting in his room the rest of his life doing stand-up comedy. How come he doesn't do that? He would tell a young kid, what would you tell a young kid who wanted to be in comedy? Would you tell him to sit and do a fucking podcast, or would you tell him to go to a comedy club?
Does he believe this? Does he really believe Ari Shaffir is trying to get into stand-up by doing a podcast? I don't believe he can't be.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Cut 3, Ari is a complete loser.
Guy's a fucking moron. And you know what? Guys who are unsuccessful hate to hear the truth. They hate to hear it. You mean we actually have to work? I mean, can't we just go in our room and be our own boss and make a podcast?
Well, that's like all those people who used to be on cable access.
Yeah.
They thought they were on
TV.
television.
They would pay a company to put my TV. Hey, look, I'm on TV. No, you're not on TV. I mean, yeah, you're on TV, but nobody gives a shit about you. Howard's old. He doesn't understand podcasting. No, I understand it perfectly. It's fun. You want a podcast? Great. So you have some audio on your website that nobody goes to.
Oof, wow.
I
that
really
aged badly.
I can't tell if he's really entirely serious about this, but some of these things he's so dead wrong, but he's still funny. Cut 4, podcasters are zeros.
He goes, and by the way, everyone who has a podcast, Howard Stern's calling you a loser. Yeah, I stand by that. That's exactly what I'm doing.
And then in cut 5, it's Ari on Joe Rogan. He plays a clip reluctantly because he doesn't want to make Ari famous, as if no one knows who Ari Shaffir is in 2017. And as wrong as Howard is on this, it's still pretty funny on cut 5.
You're upset with Howard Stern because he said that shit about podcasting.
That's the new thing I'm upset with Howard Stern over. It just shows how much he's lost touch. Like, that's not the way you become a radio DJ. Stern, no one wants to become a radio DJ who's doing podcasts. That's not our end goal.
Is that what I said? If you're doing a podcast, you're doing it for yourself, for talking to the wall, and to reach your 3 fans. Listen to this guy; he's an expert.
Might be doing that though. He's a very clever guy. He might be doing that just to get people to talk shit, And,
I guess so. He said this is for losers. So that means anyone who listens to a podcast and listens to Howard Stern, just so you know, Howard Stern called you a loser for listening to podcasts.
Is that what I did? Did I say the people who listen to podcasts are losers? I said, you're a loser. You would probably reach more listeners yelling out the window than in your stupid podcast, genius.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't think Ari. I think Ari had a podcast, and didn't he have a fairly successful podcast by then? 2017, or maybe he was a little later.
I'm not sure.
Joe
about
certainly did.
Yeah, he's a regular on Joe Rogan, and which is a pretty. I think it's a big podcast.
Oh yeah, I think they do pretty well.
Yeah.
And then last cut, Adam Carolla doesn't belong in podcasting.
He goes,
According to
Carolla
Howard.
shouldn't be in podcasts.
He shouldn't. Adam doesn't want to be doing that. Adam wanted to be on terrestrial radio. He's doing it because that's what he... And by the way, Adam had some people who followed him over.
Right.
Because he was on regular radio.
You're doing radio. It's like, oh, you just don't even know what it is. You're commenting on shit you don't even know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
Oh man,
I'm
I
an
hear
idiot.
that from a guy like that. He's too clever.
He was too clever.
I think he's probably fucking with people.
Dude,
at the
he
same
fucking
time,
does Dancing
trying
with
to
the
get
Stars.
people.
What is that, a prank?
I don't think it's Dancing with the Stars. America's Got Talent.
Whatever.
He
Some
likes it.
garbage show.
Yeah,
He likes
garbage
it.
show. Yeah, it's real garbage. What show are you on? I've never heard of you. What's Ari's show?
God,
He
jealous.
should come and audition for America's Got Talent.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think he could win. I'd love to see his stand-up. Let me see him do 90 seconds on America's Got Talent. Let's see if he places in the top 5. Dude, relax. Do all the podcasts. In fact, I hope everyone does podcasts because that'll just leave me as the world's greatest broadcaster. I'm still waiting to see a guy, a team, a morning show get the kind of numbers I used to rack up on terrestrial radio. And then once you do that, you're a proven commodity. You should see the people that offer you money once you can do that. That's the skill, not a podcast.
Wow.
Well, at least we have that skill.
I mean, wow.
We have that skill.
It sounded like it was just for us.
He's just thin.
Carolla, by the way, they used to call him the podcaster or the podfather because he created not only his show.
Aren't there like 50 podfathers?
Adam Curry is the podfather.
Well, back at the beginning, he created all those spin-off shows, and he was one of the first to take it on the road, too. I saw him at the Fillmore.
He said, really? You did?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Adam has had, I think, 17 or 18 years to get back into radio if that's what he wanted to do.
Yeah,
I don't think that's what he wants to do.
What the trajectory of terrestrial was. So.
You know, his radio, I would think that someone in the world of radio would have gone to some podcaster and said, you know what, we'd like to make you a nationwide star on radio. We could get you an audience of millions of people that you can't even get at your podcast. We could get, because if you had somebody in enough markets, you could give them a gigantic audience in radio. I mean, New York, Philadelphia, Los Angeles, Phoenix, St. Louis, all those places. But I don't think it's ever happened. I don't think anyone, I'm not aware of any.
I mean, it's possible they could have asked someone in there, yeah, no thanks, I don't want a boss.
Yeah. I mean, you could take someone who's doing 500,000 podcasting and give them 20 million. Mm-hmm. But I don't think radio's ever tried to do that.
Well, I think there are too many obstacles for that working now. There's so many things you can't do on radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be hard to go in that direction.
Kind of restrictive.
I admit it. The only thing I think would be a difference would be money. If you offered someone enough money, and I don't think that's ever happened. Sure. But oh well. Mm-hmm. Anyway, welcome back, Howard. Thanks for putting us in the promo. Whoever did that.
Yeah. Lowly podcaster.
That means they're watching our YouTube. Thanks.
Should hit him with copyright.